Hello and welcome to Uncommon StarCraft Into the Forge 2016 Chobo Star League Season 3 Round of 8 PSosa versus CyRo. Today we're going to cast the last piece of the Round of 8. We covered 3 videos yesterday, and joining me today is GNR's very own Cruel. Cruel, say hello.
Hi guys.
Don't get too intimidated. We do have an all-star cast in the viewer list. I saw we had Shazam Tech 4 and Coltern, and maybe Tech God's not actually Tech 4, I forget. But thank you for joining us. This should be fun. Any predictions with this matchup, Rule?
Not so much. I haven't seen much of either recently. CSL has been very close. I know that.
We're just setting this up. Don't worry about this. I'm going to pause it, hit the right buttons. Yeah, not Tech 4. I knew that. I knew that because you've told me that before, Tech God. Thanks for hanging out. Game paused. Buttons. There's lots of buttons to press. So, first map. Yep, first map. That. Everything's set up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Game 1, Frozen Temple.
Game resumed.
In the... Oh, almost. Wait a minute. We're going to do this right. I did this last time too. Overlay. Webcam. All right, in the bottom right-hand corner. Representing all in the purple Zerg, PSosa.
Is that purple? It's like pink.
We'll call it pink. Works for me.
And in the top left, playing for LiT, we have CyRo.
Frozen Temple on a TVZ. What are your thoughts here on this map? What kind of things should we see?
Personally, in Diamond, I see a lot of Terran 3 racks because of that giant cliff, but you know, it doesn't really see that. I'm not sure.
No, I think
Zerg.
it's a normal timing, looks like.
The Zerg, on the other hand, is a very quick pool, which I'm interested by.
Maybe a safety pool. Maybe he understands the Quick Reaper doesn't want to lose to coin flip.
Yeah, that would probably be smart. Just even if he's doing that though, the place that he puts the spawning pool is very exposed. So if he wanted to do it safer, he probably should have put it back more on like maybe the right side of the hatchery instead of right there in the open.
Alright, fair point. So maybe he just wants to get something out. Let's see. So he's pushing the queen out in one. Still no gas.
Also, his first Overlord's very interesting path.
We expecting Evolution Chamber at any time now?
Not even.
Oh, he's just clear. Looks like he's clearing for proxies. Very cautious. So that's a good path for proxies, although the Overlords probably missed some of the first proxy locations. He would have passed over him. Maybe, but there goes the first Reaper across the map. 6 slings, slowlings moving their way into the natural. To do some initial poking around. Looks like we're going to see a 1-1-1 from CyRo. And we have continued drone production out of the Zerg. 2 more queens on the way. Slings are going to get some damage done. Very annoying and frustrating to deal with 6 slings at your command center this early. It's tough to reach out there and get anything done. We do see the Reaper still sitting outside of the Zerg's natural, preventing what I assume is going to be trying to catch additional limbs coming out of the base. But the Marines do move down the ramp. He's not going to force the cancel, but he's... Oh, there we go. It's going to complete. Down goes the bunker. A very common thing for Terrans to do is throw the bunker down here. And I believe that's a little out of place. If he moves it forward a little bit, he gets better. He gets a better wall. Do you see a quick third down for the Zerg?
So that build that PSosa did is very... I don't know, I like parts of it, but I hate parts of it, because I like the delay of the natural, obviously, but looking at the harvester count, it's equal. Oh, well, PSosa just got up a bit, and he does have his third base coming down, but compared to a Terran on 2 base with mules, I feel like he just didn't get enough damage done, especially with just delaying the natural.
And we do see the factory coming out. Expecting this Liberator already positioned to go across the map and deal with the natural. Gonna give a little bit of trouble there. Nope, missed some damage here. The Reaper's coming in, getting sneaky. This is just a 1-kill Reaper. So mostly scouting, mostly gathering information, but we're seeing a heavy economy focus coming from our Zerg player. Would like to see a layer about now, at about the 4-minute mark, but he's opted to drop down 2 evolution chambers instead. There's the Reaper in place. He's gonna be supported soon by the Liberator. I would like to see them use in conjunction, if not something often seen, pull the army apart so early with just 2 units. Here it goes. Liberation zones. Oh, there goes the Spore Crawler. Already in construction, but he's going to get a few drones out of this. 2, 3, 4. Very slow reaction. Completely worth it. Needs to get out of there, though. This Spore Crawler that can represent a real threat. But he is going to continue to deny mining. I heard it. There he is. There's the Reaper I wanted to see. Pull the army in different directions. So Queen's going to get that kill. And there goes the Spore Crawler. Oh, he's going to re-siege, but this Queen looks like he's going to take care of business. It takes 3, 1, 2, and Queen range will finish that up.
He didn't notice the Spore Crawler, so that bruised it up a lot, which was very helpful for PSosa. But it was understandable because he was microing the Reaper at the 3rd base the whole time.
There's the Roach Horn. There's +1/+1. He's taking all his gases.
Layer timing is a bit interesting.
It looks like he's just doing it for the... I don't know. I would have
Maybe
liked
for
it earlier.
speed?
If you're going to commit to Roaches, and it looks like he's at least going Roach Hydra, we really do need that speed. On the other side, the Terran getting his 3rd Rex down, taking his 3rd. Decent timing on that. It was very standard Marine medevac. We're seeing exactly that medevac's coming out now, and that's going to allow him to get around the map and move. Zerg stood on his 4th. At this point, I think a couple more drones, and the Zerg's going to be in a good commanding lead, at least for a few minutes, until this 3rd gets settled.
So PSosa is going to have a big window for 1-1. His 1-1 just finished, and CyRo's half. He's half done with his 1-1. And seeing that the part he's pushing out on the map right now, he might be able to get in from multiple angles or whatnot, but we'll have to see if he takes advantage of that.
It definitely doesn't look like he's going for a timing. Maybe if he gets a strong 2-2, he's just now put everything on the gas.
His unit count is very low.
This is about the point of the game where the Zerg army should skyrocket. With this composition, it should be... It's easy to get to 200 supply while the Terran is still at 150, and that's the timing window for a good strong 2-2. But definitely not coming up the middle right here. This is not where he wants to take the fight. It looks like he's clearing rocks. Maybe he'll go around. He wants quicker reinforcements, so he pushes around the left side of the map. A lot of good reasons to go in this direction. He's got 12 more roaches on the way. There is roach speed. 2-2 is started. This is the timing window where he's getting slow, more and more ahead. There's the +1 or +2, excuse me, for the Terran going down, moving across the middle of the map, dropping some tanks. I feel like there we go. Now that is a great hit. I love the tank positioning when there's not a threat right on the board, but that was a great exchange with PSosa. He's pulling ahead 50 supply, double the army value as Zerg marches across the map to finish this off. If he can get up this ramp and push this, I think he's got a long way to go, but not everything was sitting right there. There we go, stutter set. Back home, the infestation pit goes down, more lurkers on the way. 2-2 plus vehicle. And he's going to get all the tanks. Cleaning this up fantastically. It's going to be a tough one for the Terran to come back from.
Yeah, at this point, it does.
There's the GG. PSosa takes it 1-0 on Frozen Temple, excuse me. So, while I load up the next game, any thoughts on what you saw there and what CyRo could have done differently?
So Frozen Temple's definitely a Terran favorite, especially, well, probably during the first two bases. But once you get to that third, fourth base area, it starts to open up a little bit more for Zerg, especially when the rocks are broken down. And PSosa was very conscious about those rocks and knew that if a attack was going to come from tanks, which he had seen already, those rocks would be pivotal in positioning.
Game paused.
So he
Okay.
definitely did a good job knowing to take down those rocks and being ready for any type of tank positioning that would have given him some nasty trouble.
Well, it looks like our next map we're going to is King Sejong Station. So we're going to go into this. I think all the buttons are pressed. So
Game
spawning in the top left-hand corner, the hot pink Zerg, representing all in. PSosa taking a commanding 1-0 lead early. This is a great start for our Zerg player.
And in the bottom left, down 1-0 on Team LiT, it's CyRo, or Turn It Up.
So this map is very often talked about as being very Terran favored. We see good Liberator positioning and harass available at the natural, and good drop locations from the left and the right of the main. Very big areas to sneak into. Even good Reaper hopping points on the side and on the front. Maybe not so much on the front between the main and the natural, but still very abusable if done well. What would you like to see out of the Zerg this time around?
At this point, he really just needs to keep on what he was doing with positioning. It's obviously been what he knows about, and if Turn It Up does go for tanks like he did last game, he will have a lot of trouble. But we'll see, because PSosa hasn't necessarily gone for a Roach build yet. Actually, he's gone for Hatch First, Hatch Gas Pool, actually, which might include a fast Zerg speed healing.
Oh, he's definitely
More Zerglings, but
he was a little slow on the gas, so he's not gonna have it right away. But you're right, this is the gold standard for Zerg. A good map for it. I don't think he fears the Reapers as much. Not a lot of. And we'll see where his second Overlord goes. He definitely okay. So he's taking a position, check proxies, and he set it up for what might be a good elevator position, or just a place to scout in later once he's got Overlord speed. It looks like we are seeing Reaper. Nope, excuse me, Marine. Reaper, yeah, Reaper fast expand into a 1/1/1 for the Terran. His Reaper's gonna get this drone.
yeah.
Is he? Is he gonna get? Alright, he's gonna get the drone. Sixlings gotta find their position.
It's definitely gonna hurt for the Zerg because he really wanted to take that third. At this point, he doesn't have very many drones on his natural because he was saving up for that third. So now not having either, it's gonna be kind of difficult to keep up economically with the turn.
Oh, this is if he's got.
Especially if he gets this one.
Yeah, that's gotta be huge. There it is. That's tough. And he's building up a lot of minerals. He really wants to get these used. He needs to not take this fight off creep. Oh, there's a mistake in the micro.
Very close. It looks like he's still gonna go.
This
He's
is
being cheeky and poking him off at 1 HP.
this is a some money reaper. We do have a supply block. Looks like he was definitely flustered during that attack. There you go.
Looks like he has responded with building 2 more queens, which might help with fending off any early attacks or drops, and definitely in spreading creep.
I love this regeneration on the Reaper. Ooh, nice pause. So he didn't pull the Zergling out of the range of the. What do we call those? The charges. Let's call them charges.
KD8s.
Grenades. Let's call them grenades.
They're KD8 charges, if I believe. Right, yeah.
So he's moving this Overlord in here to get his scouting information. He's going to know everything. He's going to see the stem is not necessarily rushed. But it doesn't look like this Overlord's going to get out of here. He's going to see the starport. He's going to see the reactor starport. Mines. He knows he has to deal with mines. There we go. You already have a hatchery morphing into a lair. I think I'm hearing the music in this thing for the first time. He's supply blocked yet again. 2 more Overlords coming. There go evolution chambers. I like his droning. I like he's committed to droning. Taking a later gas. As I say that, he takes his gas.
Well, CyRo is going for Widow Mines, which is very interesting, especially taking into consideration the Roach style that PSosa did last game. So I don't really know exactly why he's building Widow Mines. And even as I see that PSosa is making a Roach Warren in the main.
Yep, he missed
so
it on the scan too.
Yeah, so we didn't see that, so that might be a bummer for Aaron.
He's banking a lot of money though. I don't know if this was misinject. But it's showing in the slight and small army size advantage.
Looks like he's just going for another timing of putting the upgrades together, but he has missed the Roach speed upgrade, which he might be just saving for actually building Roaches. No, he got the speed.
There we go. Yep. Alright, into engineering base finishing a supply call down. So looks like PSosa's not the only one finding himself supply blocked. A lot of times though, oh, there we go. That's a cheeky Overlord. We do have a drop 4 Widow Mines making their way. Looks like if I follow the green line, it's going to be spotted by an Overlord, and he wants to handle the main base. So
I haven't seen a 4 Widow Mine drop in a while. Do you like this better than 2 Widow Mines and a couple Marines?
it depends. Marines, you can easily make a mistake, as in you don't pick them up in time, because you don't want to lose them. You want them to continue to do more damage. But I guess a Widow Mine, you drop 2 there, you drop 1 in another base, 1 in another base. You can fire and forget and walk away. But we do have an Overseer in the base. This Queen range is going to do a big deal. Maybe all 4 dropped here would be scary. There it is. Now he's going to want to pick those up. Good. I do like that execution. I might not like the 4 Widow Mine drop, but you can't argue with 4 solid hits.
That's very good.
You can see he's already down. He's down to 7. That was, I had the button. 16 workers killed. So he's done an excellent job of harassment this entire game.
That's in total, and he got about 5 before, so around 11 kills is pretty good for Widow
Oh, am I
Mine.
missing? Nope. He went back
Going
down.
back in with them, and he got even more, taking it up to 23.
Jesus.
Definitely paid for itself by now. And
Yep.
another drop coming in on the right side. This one actually has some Marines in it, and a Hellion, and a Widow Mine. He's just clearing out the Overlord for now, but they got Roaches covering it. That's not going to do much for now.
This Widow Mine's gonna get it shot off. There you go.
Won't kill anything, but it'll bruise up the Roaches a bit.
And this is something
Might
you have
change
to
that
do.
Roach into it.
Ravager, yeah. This is something you have to do against Zerg. You have to apply this kind of light pressure with them constantly, or they're going to spiral out of control. Every drone he creates, or every drone he hits is a massive hit to future engagements. It looks like PSosa's recognized this. He's going to move across the map. Decided this is the time to make up for the damage. That's still slowing.
No.
No, okay.
Considering the worker and army supply, he might think this is his only shot. And he's getting a good engagement. The
Oh,
Widow
hitting his own roaches.
all of those Roaches. They're getting a good concave, but the bio on that top of that ramp is just doing so much damage, and those Widow Mines are recharging and still sitting on it. But the bio's pushing forward and taking it all out besides. without the Widow Mines and just cleaning it up very easily.
Yeah, the Widow Mines were definitely the heroes there, and you saw he attack moved in such a way that his Overlord found itself over the Marines. That's an easy pick-off. Nothing to do at that point. 3 hits from the Widow Mines, very excellent, very well done.
Very true.
All right. How do you feel about the Spore Crawler positioning in the third base?
It's interesting. For ones coming from the right side and they're new and they're just regular drops to the third, it's a fine position. But ones coming that hit maybe the mid or the main base and then float over to the right side and the third to do more damage, it's definitely going to be very difficult.
So we do have a really strong move out. These Widow Mines have to be handled. The medevacs are low. It's a good corrosive bile on this. He can take this engagement well, but I think it's going to come down to how he handles this engagement. That is a particularly small army. It looks like the front Widow Mines aren't going to be a threat, and he's really got to... Did he drone up behind some of this? Yeah, that's to be expected.
He did pick off 5 of the 6 Widow Mines, but
There we go.
It's
Good
bile.
surround.
that was a good flank from the third. There's more bio coming from the Terran. Not very good Widow Mine shots, actually. But these Ravager hits aren't going to land except for a medevac. He's just going to keep pushing forward. He's going to try to kill these Ravagers, but he's barely going to get through the Ravagers. The bio is definitely going to help when he...
We have a defender's advantage on the way, but we are getting a stream of Marines. It looks like he's picking up to go home.
Couple Widow Mines, no shots off. The Overseer comes just in time. He's picking up to get out, but it looks like he could just drop and maybe fight, but no, he's gonna fall all the way back this time.
Dropping definitely takes a little bit of time. You have to have enough room at least to get all your units out of the medevac. Looks like we're seeing a good counter push. 4th base is down for the Terran. Looks like 4th base is floating over from the Terran. 4th base is secured for the Zerg. This is probably not the engagement he wanted to take. Good pick off of the medevac as he continues to push down the ramp, securing that ramp with it. Securing that ramp with a nice Widow Mine.
If the Terran didn't know about that 4th base, he knows about it now from the way those roaches retreated back.
That's a good point. Just thinking that. Another command
Still
center going down.
surprised. Yeah, I'm still surprised how Marine heavy he is right now. Especially considering he hasn't seen a transition yet. I guess he hasn't really scouted the main yet, but also he hasn't seen any transition out of roaches. So I guess the Liberators help, but maybe more Marauders would have been good. He's not adding any tech labs. He's just been sitting on 5 reactors and 1 tech lab this whole time. So his Marauder levels have been very low compared to...
And while this might not be the optimal composition, you really can't argue with results right here. The Widow Mines are making their money's worth, but we're starting to see what exactly you're talking about right there. Composition starting to play a big deal. You don't have, he doesn't have the medevacs to cover the damage that those things are taking.
Yeah, and the fact that those Marauders, the few that he had, weren't even in the front. This Planetary, though, is not going to get taken down, especially if he pulls SCVs in time.
Yeah. You see the Liberators are here
probably
now.
should get out of here. Yeah. And he wasted the Corrosive Vial on the Planetary Fortress, which isn't going to help, especially with the repairs. And then he won't be able to take out the Liberators with the Corrosive Vials, and getting picked off the Ravagers as they're retreating. That's going to be bad, and that might trigger CyRo to go and kill him.
I mean, this is still a very, very damaged army. The medevacs didn't have any time to heal this. The Liberators are really going to play a big role here in this engagement. I'd love to see more Ravagers, but I don't know if he has time to back up and morph as the Terran retreats home. This is the perfect time. There we go. Just the perfect number of Ravagers. All of them. Let's take a look at the mining situation. He's smartly pulled from his natural and his main, so he's not going to mine out of those as quickly. They're going to last a little longer. The natural main for CyRo is mined out. He is looking to take his 5th.
Both looking to take their 5th. CyRo's going to get his earlier because he's flooding his Manceter that he earlier built.
Still not seeing a transition. It doesn't look like he feels safe enough to move out of Roach Ravager. On the other side of the map, we have not seen any adjustments either.
We do see 3 more star puts
Oh.
before it's getting put down. That's going to be big. But also, he might have a big old push coming with this 3-3 that's gonna hit. At least the weapons upgrades will. And PSosa is going out on the map, and both are going out on the map. They're going past each other, though. CyRo is definitely going to see PSosa, though, with his sensor tower, and he's going to come back, defend this planetary fortress.
He's in a good position up here, but these Liberators... Oh, there's the corrosive biles you wanted to use right about now.
There's about 4 left, but he's getting taken up on this ramp, and those Liberators camping on them, the Widow Mines camping on them, the bio surrounding them completely.
Taking the hits with the Ravagers. They aren't the tank of your army. Ladies and gentlemen, it is tied up 1-1 as we go ahead and set up Game 3. So, what do you think we needed to see there from PSosa at that time?
A transition, really. I think, if not a transition, infestors. He needed something. Just Roach Ravager over and over again obviously wasn't getting the job done. Especially when he got into Liberators and Widow Mines. He didn't even need the Marauders at that point. It was just too much of a better composition that it just steamrolled him.
That's fair. We're gonna take a quick 2-minute break. Is that gonna work for you, Cruel?
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we're gonna take a look at the next map, Match 3 Galactic Process, and let's see how this goes down. So. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back, and we're going to go ahead and get into Game 3 between LiT's CyRo and All In's PSosa. Chobo Star League Season 3, 2016. Round of 8 for our final match. This one's going to take place on Galactic Process. I'd hate to just get these map names wrong. That would be embarrassing, but game is ready, so we're going to go ahead and hop right in.
Game resumed.
Resumed. Ladies and gentlemen, in the bottom left, representing Lost in Translation, it is the Teal Terran 1-1 CyRo. That's a wrong button. Whee, up and down. All right.
And in the top right on Galactic Process, tied 1-1 in this best of 7, it is PSosa.
Best of 5.
Best of 5. Shit. I tried. I guessed.
No, absolutely fantastic. We're not going to be hired for the GSL anytime soon, but we're doing all right. So
hey, you never know. Okay. I'm gonna tweet at Artosis now. Send them this link.
please do. That'd be fantastic.
You don't need taste.
Every time they retweet something I say, it's like an additional 40 views to my YouTube. All right, let's see. Reaper Fast Expand looks like out of our Terran. 17, 18, 17 hatch gas pool gold standard out of PSosa. I did not. Ooh, that's a spawning pool.
His spawning pool placements are weird, man.
Is he using them for vision and creep?
I don't know. I feel like he thinks there's gonna be a proxy at the edge of his creep, which there isn't. I don't know.
I think he's in chat. So if he tells us why he's doing it, we'll repeat those words for the recording. But we do have an expansion coming down for the Terran. It is a Reaper.
Not deviated yet from this build. For
Yeah.
fast expand. Do it till you die, I guess.
The Reaper Fast Expand, the hatch gas pool, they just work. If you listen, I listened to Neuro Starcraft a bit talk about the Zerg openers, and a lot of work went into perfecting this sequence of events.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
Thankfully, I didn't have to do any of that work. So he says it's for Reapers. If they attack move them, they focus the pool. Like for a single Reaper? Or are you worried about there being multiple Reapers?
No, he means when the Reaper first comes in, they usually aim move it across the map and not looking until it gets in the base. And so once it does get in the base, it spends time hitting the spawning pool, so you don't see a notification of it being attacked. And hopefully that gets distraction for a period of time.
Gives them a little bit of time. Okay. No, I think what you were saying is if this was a Reaper, Reaper rush, those are much more difficult to deal with if that pool gets targeted down.
Yeah. I think that was really just a scare on Frozen Temple. Not really Galactic Process, considering that I guess the cliff isn't that bad, or
It's a pretty big cliff.
It's pretty big, but also you have to do a double cliff thing, you know? So you have to go up the ramp and then you have to go up the cliff, I guess.
Wait, is this? Oh,
Or you
okay, I
go-
see. I thought you go around by the destructible portal or destructible shielded rocks. There you go. Good placement of those lings to catch that Reaper.
Gets it very low, but doesn't actually kill it.
Yep.
Fortunate.
Queen moving out to the third, probably gonna catch that. Taking a back look at CyRo's base. You know, I'm playing a little bit of Zerg, and I keep hovering over the Zerg more than Terran. So let's let's pull it back. Take a quick look here. It's he's getting his third barracks down. Queued up a few Marines. Looks like he's going Widow Mines again. Widow Mines straight into a Liberator, very similar to what we saw in Frozen Temple. The one Hellion. I'd like to see. Oh, I think I'd like to see something different out of CyRo, but it worked last time.
First deviation, I believe, right, with the Liberator?
No, well, Frozen Temple had a Liberator. If you look at the the path it's gonna go.
Oh, this is exactly what he did on Frozen Temple with the Reaper distracting and the Liberator going around the other side. But the Liberator was spotted by an Overlord
There goes the
by
Spore Crawler.
PSosa in front, so we'll see if he does see it. He also does see it with the Sensor Tower, which is very, or not the Sensor Tower, the Zilnaga Tower.
Yeah. And there's a Queen already in position to take care of the Spore Crawler's in place. It's not going to get anything done. He's going to have to go another direction, but it did force at least a Spore Crawler at every base. There he is. He's going to move right past it. Find a position in the middle. He's gonna deny
PSosa
a
not
little bit of my
deviating.
time. 2, 3. He keeps this. He's in a decent position. Ooh, nice use of the Reaper. But that Queen is in a great position to handle it.
Both of those getting
All
around the other side.
3 Queens. That was just. There's the
It's a
Rift
lot.
double upgrades.
Looks like he's gonna go back into the same thing he's been doing and just hope it works this time.
And yeah, a lot of it. Let's see, we got the medevacs coming out. There's a third double engineering guy. And a lot of it is you get one solid build at this level, and you just find all the minor adjustments you have to make when you when you see the enemy's plan unfold.
Yeah.
You know, how heavy Do you play Roach Ravager? Do you go heavier Ravager when you see more Liberators? You decide to tech up into Hydra a little faster. But it is not unusual for us to have a lot of the same responses to things.
Yeah, I agree. These couple links going away at these destructible rocks, opening it up. Maybe that'll be his fourth down there eventually.
How do you feel about that fourth versus the one farther away from your opponent?
I don't know. On this map, I don't have very many fourth base build orders, to be honest.
There's the full Widowmine drop. We're seeing that one again.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I see moves.
So this seems more like a combination of builds, Frozen Temple and KSS coming together, you know, with the Liberator and then Widow Mines together. But he is going over creep right now, and PSosa did have a lot of queens. He already has a couple roaches in position.
Yeah, the
And a
spores are going to handle
Prowler.
that.
Is he going to go for it at this pace? He still is going to go for it at this pace.
It's such an odd combination. The Liberator forces out spores. Still getting a little bit of damage done. Total of 11 workers killed in the fight, so not completely useless, but I do see why you wouldn't want to do this combination often.
Yeah. I think PSosa got a bit lucky with that tracking of his queen coming in right when that Widow Mine, the last two Widow Mines were going down, because they targeted the queens instead of the drones who were not close to the drones and only bruised the queens minorly.
Sure. Good and very scary army here. The front gate for CyRo. All the bases for our Zerg seem to be well saturated. We're going to see, I want to call it a window coming up in about 75 seconds from now, where I think the Zerg is going to have the advantage.
I can see that. As long as he gets his fourth base just at least half saturated, he's gonna be in pretty good position. He might even take a fifth just for Larva's sake. His creep spread though is almost as bad as mine right now.
I don't think I've ever made it to the gold base on here with my creep spread. One day I'll work on creep spread.
The only reason I make it to the gold on this map is if I'm playing ZVT, I have a gold base.
We are seeing a bit of a
Build
move
order.
out. There we go. Pull those medevacs back. I'm not sure if that was spotted. There's not a lot. Oh, no, he spotted it with the Zelnaga Tower.
This might be the wrong decision considering PSosa is also 50 supply ahead in army.
And I don't want to see PSosa chase it, but if you're maxed out, what else are you going to do? There goes the
Yeah, I
overlords
guess.
again.
Ooh. He deviated for a long time in those corrosive vials. I thought they might land, but he did pull back right in time.
Yep, and
He
we are
does have that one Reaper, which could pose a threat to those Ravagers if they are too clumped up.
well, we're 20 seconds
See if
from a 2-2. He's going to have a window, a really good window. Right about. Wait. 6 seconds. 6 seconds.
He's got 50 seconds to use it. So we'll see.
There we go. Good concave here. It's going to be the kind of engagement he wants. He's going to get a couple medevacs with that.
Bruise a couple more.
With
A couple Widow Mines don't do very good. He is getting a bit of a cluster right here. He's walking into his corrosive vials a bit. Does hit the front ones. Then CyRo drops back into this part, but it looks like there's too much Roach Ravager.
Oh, there are the
getting
medevacs.
every medevac.
Oh, Widow Mine's trying to get some damage here. They're going to get a couple Ravagers. There we go.
Just 3 though, and he has the Overseers here to clean him up. He's cleaning up most of the stuff with the natural. He has a Liberator popping out for CyRo, coming down with some Marines, but there's still a lot of Roaches and Ravagers at the bottom. He has another Liberator coming up to help, but there's a lot of Corrosive Vials still left over. He has 5 Ravagers. He used a couple and he's still on cooldown. He has a couple getting hit by Liberators, and the Marines coming back and might actually clear it up for a bit, but it's just a matter of time, really.
Yeah, at this point, your economy is too far behind. You were able to save the natural, but too many drones. We're at 41 to 71. The economy for the Zerg is going to allow him to remax in about 30 seconds. Already taken, Tar's taking his fifth on the other side of those rocks. Looks like he is going in the +3/+3. Those upgrades have not started for the Terran, and for good reason. He needs to be producing his army and his economy back going again. He can't afford the upgrades. It's going to give him a distinct advantage again. I think he should be going for the killing blow here.
Very interestingly, CyRo did not lose any of his command centers, which I'll give him props for, but he also doesn't have any workers at them to mine.
Those things fly.
They do, and roaches can't shoot up, as we know very well, and the crystal battles are being used on medevacs and liberators, so...
Yeah, so I would like to see some more Ravagers. Really said maybe it. Oh, there we go. There are the Corruptors. That's going to handle nicely with the Liberators. I would hate to see him overcommit to these at this point in time because there is still a focus on the ground army. 2 Liberators aren't scary enough for too many more Corruptors.
So CyRo actually is getting +3/+3.
Yep,
He's
starting.
about 40 to 30 seconds behind.
There goes the
PSosa.
Greater Spire.
Ooh, Greater Spire. I mean, even just with Corruptors, ending these Liberators would be a very big help. But he might not even wait.
I mean, we're talking a couple good injects. He's got 31 larvae back at home. He can throw this away, remax, and stomp all over him. This game it's going to be tough. He's going to have to hold on. He's going to need to hold these liberator positions, get a good fight, and really just keep an eye on his opponent. But I think he's wandering blind right now, kind of trying to turtle up, protect this one planetary fortress. PSosa deciding not to commit, excuse me, following the drop across the map. That's going to get cleaned up nicely. These Corruptors can chase down these medevacs, prevent them from doing anything else. A couple of Marines wander across the map. Probably had tried to load up into the medevac and followed across. There we go. The Overlord's getting ahead. There we go. Pulls him back. You see that often too with medevacs. Like to get ahead of their army, taking a more direct path, and he can take this engage straight into the Liberators. He just has enough to deal with it. Great shots on those Widow Mines. Handful of Corruptors go down. Planetary Fortress taking some hits, being repaired. Let's see how he decides to take this engage this time. There we go, taking out the workers. That is the right call. There goes the Planetary. There goes the Majority's Mining. Such a bank pulled up ahead of PSosa.
Honestly, I think that was the best fight that CyRo was going to get, and it still didn't even go well. He had Liberators hitting Ravagers, he had Widow Mines hitting all the Roaches, he had Planetary Fortress on the left side absolutely destroying the left flank. But he was just collapsed so quickly on the right flank that it didn't really matter, and he got a bigger concave.
Absolutely the best fight he could have hoped for. And we tried just plating on the way, and +3 armor done. Now this is looking really solid for PSosa as he morphs his Broodlords and starts the siege. Interesting, he chose to go Broodlords alone.
Yeah, it's gonna be very... Oh, the Widow Mines are getting a couple shots off, but they're not in range for the rest
There's
of them.
the GG, ladies and gentlemen. PSosa up 2-0 at the end of, or 2-1, excuse me, at the end of game 3. All right, what would you like to have seen out of CyRo there while we load up the next replay?
That was a very commanding game by PSosa. I think he definitely had a hold on it the entire time. CyRo just seemed too hesitant, I think. You know, not really sure what he was doing. You could see that he was adding in a bit of deviation from the last 2 games that he was doing, and I think changing it up kind of threw him off, and adding in that Widow Mine drop after the Liberators definitely didn't help, especially because there were already spores from the Liberators. So I think as long as he stays consistent and knows what he's doing, he'll do a bit better.
I think that's a good analysis. It's you usually either Widow Mine or Liberator, and it works until your opponent is prepared for it. Not unlike the DTs. So the next map, brain fart. Next map is a map. It's Sideways Arena.
New Gettysburg.
New Gettysburg. Thank you so much. Let me hit some buttons, and Spawning in the bottom left, up 2-1. In the hot pink, it's PSosa.
And his opponent in the bottom right, I feel like tasteless right now. It is from Team LiT. It is CyRo.
All right. Game 4. PSosa needs one more to take this and secure a spot in the round of 4, going to the semifinals of Chobo Star League. I would like to take a moment to thank TB Ham for putting this together on a regular and consistent basis. It is a very fun Chobo level tournament. I'm sure everybody appreciates it. We are seeing a fast spawning pool and a delayed hatch coming out of PSosa. What are you expecting to see here?
So he did this in the first game. He did a very quick spawning pool with an extractor trick into gas, and then made 6 lings and harassed CyRo's natural. I was very hesitant about this build, I guess, but if he does more damage than he did in game 1, it'll definitely put him in a good position. He was only a bit behind after doing it in game 1, but if he can do better with it, I'll definitely like this build.
I think the harassment would definitely earn, in the first game, the harassment definitely earned him what he needed.
Yeah, he definitely got ahead. It's just, I guess it did put tearing it up a bit on the back foot just from seeing the 6 lings. He maybe thought there was more coming, but never was. And that definitely helped them drone up more.
So some of the features on this map, and I say sideways arena because I think the attack paths are very similar. We have a nice quick ground route with a choke. We have destructible rocks that make for even quicker, or for a relatively quick attack path to the north. And then we have the standard let's go around, come back down through the 3rd attack path. Now the difference being these lovely, what I call fly traps in the middle. How do you feel about the auto pathing there?
Always for your first overlord, it seems very annoying, but PSosa has always deviated with his first overlord and gone to look for proxies. I don't know if that's because tearing it up is notorious for it or what, but maybe he's just trying to be careful. With his second overlord, though, it's...
Am I doing this wrong? Is that where the overlord needs to go? Like, do you send your overlord through the fly trap?
I
like to send mine down the path, right?
Down the path works. I usually do that with my second overlord. I don't know. I don't play this map very much, to be honest. But
that's a lot of lings.
Yeah.
He's gonna catch this relatively he's gonna get the damage he wants to get in here. He's gonna stop overcommitting on the bunker. Oh, the gates are
this
down.
is not good. That is not good. If he can get a ling on top of these supply depots, he's gonna stop it from going up, and he can flood lings all day long. He doesn't even need to, actually. He's destroyed half of the lings already almost, and is still droning up behind this. He doesn't even need to worry about it because only 1 marine has popped out so far. He's destroyed so many workers, and it's just been a devastating attack.
This is mining time that's not being taken. This is, there's the Hellion. He's gonna clean this up, but
at what cost?
At the cost of 20 workers before 4 minutes. I had to close. I forgot to close the total game time on the right-hand side. But this game still has many minutes left, so where he decides to take this, let's see how strong mules are.
Yes, this is very interesting on how far it's been going.
I mean, if he takes his time and he drones up to 3 bases and he gives CyRo a chance to rebuild, is it going to matter?
I think if he takes out these SCVs and mules up, and he's putting down a reactor for Hellions, he might get some counter damage in. Because PSosa is definitely droning up and taking full advantage of knowing that his opponent's on the back foot from all the damage he just did. So if he's not ready for a Hellion attack, he might get some good damage.
We have 1 heavily damaged Hellion. I think a queen handles that. Someone in the chat, Joseph, is asking what rank they are. These are Diamond and Master?
Uh, PSosa, I think, is still diamond at the moment.
Okay, 2 diamonds. Alright, so these 2 queens are going to do a pretty good job of zoning out and snatching these liberators. He might even get this. Oh, 1 hit point. Hellion, he can't come in and get anything done with that. But we are seeing another pull in the roaches. Take a quick look at the 21 SCVs to 45. Still a very commanding lead, and he continues to drone up.
He only has 1 evolution chamber this time, which makes me think that he might go for another another push with roaches this time, because he'll have more money from not having that evo chamber and upgrades. But we'll see.
It's got to happen soon. We are seeing the hatchery go down. It's gonna have to be roach speed. You don't want to move out before that's done, or I don't think he wants to. Although back at home, okay. So Marines are still a good unit. There's a Widow Mine and a bunker that could hold what we have here. Some tricky Hellion dance there.
It's interesting though, because I don't really think he needs to move out at this point.
So a lot of opponents would have GG'd here. What does CyRo need to do to come back?
He needs time. What he needs to do, I think, is there's a couple ways. You could either start building up an army just with everything and don't even worry about your economy and push across early, but obviously that window is closed. At this point, he really just needs to build up and stop that scouting. That's not going to be good. He has seen a starport with a tech lab. Starport with a tech lab, at this point, like, all I can think of would be Banshee. And he's going Banshee, but he is also supply blocked severely, and he's going to be for a while. So he's not going to get very much
value
for anything, especially since he's seen it.
And we got spore crawlers, some roaches in the main. No spore crawlers in natural. Nothing down in the third.
His spore crawler position makes me think that he thinks it's Liberator still, or a drop, but just because it's Banshee, it's a lot more agile than Liberator.
There are definitely some things I would prefer to see out of Zerg right now, but it's hard to question him after such incredible early damage. Upgrades. There we go. He's got a lot of bank. He seems to either be banking up for something, or making sure he secures this win. You see he's got roaches positioned in every possible drop point or defensive location. He's trying not to fall to something not cheesy, but I guess cheeky would be the right word. He's definitely playing this as safe as possible.
I think these 2 engineering bays, I'm a little bit confused about, especially considering how little information he has about what PSosa is at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Just going so heavily into upgrades right now, I feel like it's just very vulnerable. You might think he's, safe completely with these Widow Mines and bunker, but I feel like especially if he's gonna take this third base right now, it's just gonna be very difficult to hold anything.
We get the Overlord over here holding this creep down. That's really gonna prevent the third. Great positioning. It even lets him know when the third comes down. He knows the time. He knows he's well ahead. His fourth is gonna finish about the time this third gets to land. It's gonna allow him to pull from his main, get those drones working. He's already got 7 on the way. More Hydralisks coming. +2, +1 is about to finish up. And he's continuing to drone. We have 9, 10, 15. That's about as fully saturated as you're going to get on 4 bases.
He's at 76 workers right now.
More spore crawlers.
Pretty good.
This is going to be an explosion of bank. I mean, he could throw this away, drop a couple more hatches, and throw it away 2 or 3 more times before the Terran has a chance to get back across the base. So, playing it utterly and completely safe at this point.
They talk about power of attrition, but damn, I think he's
Taking a fifth. 2 gases.
Yeah, he's taking a 5th. He's already fully saturated on his 4th. He's still got a couple even mining patches in his main, which
So is Terran up taking advantage of the time? Because he's gotten the time he needed.
he's got the time, but has he spent it the right way? He's very oversaturated on gas, which is kind of scary because he's not going into something like Ravens or Thors, so he doesn't really need that at this point.
Yep, he's pulling medevacs out of a tech lab, starport.
He's also not getting his upgrades, and he's mainly been going into SUVs and mules, and especially with a high marine count. I don't know.
It looks like, he couldn't have been, like, obviously at this point looking back, he should have been very greedy. He should have taken a 3rd and a 4th right away, but at the time, being as far behind as he was, I think he was just trying to play cautious, building out his army, taking a nice slow 3rd, trying to get back into his rhythm. But he's put himself in a dangerous position, and this drop has to do gold.
It needs to kill at least 50 workers.
At least. All right, Marines. There are 16 of you. Each of you must get at least 3. And a few of you have to get 4.
That Marauder better get like 10.
I think if 50 drones just surrounded 16 workers, I mean, it still wouldn't be the trade he needed.
He's dropping right on the creep, so
Yeah, it's hard to sneak around.
ready for this.
He's even sending some lings across to do some counter harass. I do love that about Zerg, their ability to just send a handful of lings over, throw them away. He does pick them up, only loses a couple Marines. A significant amount of damage on the medevac, so these Hydralisks are worth their money. A ling run by down here in the 3rd. Getting a handful more units. Okay, so he got nothing out of that. Take it back. PSosa killed no workers. He's still on 20.
Titanus planning is coming up. Plenty of help versus the low Marauder count.
Adrenal glands, cracklings.
Weapons refit on the way. Battle cruisers. This is why this game lasted so long.
Yeah, double armor.
This is gonna be interesting at this point. Hydras, they're a good unit, I guess, but battle cruisers, I mean, I'm not really sure how they do against Hydras.
I think battle cruisers just shoot too slow.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, they're a great response to the ultras, but Hydralisks, it's a numbers thing. It's the same reason Marines are fantastic against most air units, because they don't come in the numbers they need to do anything.
Especially with three Hydralisks, this is gonna be.
I mean, we're gonna see a maxed out army fight a maxed out army. Oh, missing the. There we go. The drop over here. It looks like it's gonna get cleaned up. Drops a few units to save the medevac. There's one medevac, and there's a second. I did not think we were going to get to see a maxed out army fight here, especially something with battle cruisers. When you lose 20, absolutely 20 drones in the first 4 minutes, oversaturated his main. He really needs to be paying attention to this. He's already too far behind to handle this now. To let those kind of mistakes happen. That bank.
When you go down to a 6 worker count, you don't really think you're going to go into a 14-minute game.
He's attacking the 4th, pulls the entire army in response for a handful of lings. Not a big scary push, but these roaches come in unabated. A couple more barracks coming down. They're going to meet the bunker. They're going to handle that. And the army's just got to turn around and come back.
3-2 roaches kill bunkers like it's left. There are 17 SCVs here.
4
Very
Ultralists in
oversaturated.
production. He's
He
going to
does
continue
see
to
the
get
battle
worker build.
cruisers finally.
I don't think it bothers him.
No,
I
he
hope it
threw it on a
doesn't
Spire a while ago, but I think he's ready. He counters battle cruisers with more ultras. He throws down 3 more.
There are 7 ultras in production. 1 is out.
It's gonna be tough.
I wouldn't be surprised if the ultras got spotted and it was just GG.
Oh wow, I didn't even see the 4 Vipers. That's gonna be fun too. Battle cruisers, especially in these low numbers, you don't really think about microing them that much, but if he puts a couple of parasitic bombs on them, it's done.
More cracklings at the fourth, more run bys. Yeah, I mean, I like what he's doing. I like these units. I like his bank. I wish he had gone for the throat.
Oh man, this feels like Bomber. Feels like Mario back in the day when battle cruisers were actually good.
We do have a move out. He can take a good engagement here. He can definitely take this game. He's pulled himself back into this. They're the Lings. They're gonna pull some uncost. There we go. There's the Ultras. They're gonna get the job done. A couple Widow Mines in here aren't gonna stop a 8 armor. Excuse me.
Yeah,
The battle cruisers and the Yamato cannons. There's just not enough battle cruisers. It's like one Yamato
throws
shot
down
per Ultra.
Blinding Cloud, interestingly, which doesn't do anything because the Marines fight back. They don't get affected. The battle cruisers don't get affected, but the Hydralisks were just
Melting
in
the
too
battle
high
cruisers.
numbers and too high upgrades, and just battle cruisers go down very quickly.
All right, Hero Planetary Fortress.
Survive.
What's that?
Nope.
3 or 5. Oh, I didn't even get to see. I was trying to see how much damage they were doing to the Ultras. I gotta say, CyRo, GG, well done. Absolutely fantastic game. I was watching his money the entire time. He didn't, at least his minerals, he stayed on top. I think he did everything he could do after that last game. And it looks like the series goes to PSosa. He moves on to the semifinals. Any last thoughts on that game?
Well played by PSosa. There was one mistake that just set back CyRo a lot, and that happens. Move on, I guess.
Overall, a commanding, absolute commanding presence all 4 games. Do wish him luck in the semifinals. It's going to be a very intense set of games. We saw some fantastic things over the last few days, but thank you for watching. If you're checking out the VOD, like, subscribe, follow. If you're checking out the stream, all those sellout things we love to do. You guys have been fantastic. Cruel, thank you again for joining me. It's much less awkward when I'm trying to talk to myself up here.
No problem. Thanks, man.
I'll give you a ring again if you're available the next time we do these. So thank you again for watching. This has been Uncommon StarCraft, Into the Forge. Have a good night. Go play some StarCraft.